Hey, welcome back. My name is Rebecca, and I own a successful local tutoring company, but I also have a lot of experience tutoring online. So today's video is focused on how you can get more clients, but also market your tutoring services in a really cheap and tangible way. So, this is going to cover 5 suggestions, and this is not a complete list. Also, full disclaimer, I do not have a degree in marketing. My degree is education, but this is stuff that has actually worked for me. So, I wanted to share it. So, my first one I wanted to share with seems pretty straightforward, but go ahead and post on these free platforms, but you want to be strategic. You don't want to post on platforms where you don't want to find clients. For example, don't recommend posting on Craigslist or you might get some really interesting bites there. But I would post on Facebook and I would post on Nextdoor. Those are some of my favorites, but you might have something unique in your community. So if you are targeting local students, which I think is actually the easiest to start with, you want to join relevant Facebook groups. For me, I love the moms groups, but I also love word of mouth groups. Those are my favorite. Now, if you join the one with it says small businesses locally, those can be helpful, but I can tell you those are mostly spam. People advertising a lot about cleaning air vents, so I don't get many bites from there. And then in your post, what is going to be some of the most essential details is you want to keep it short and sweet. Hi, my name is Rebecca. I've been teaching for X amount of years. I'm looking to onboard or even just meet some new potential tutoring clients. My skills are blank and blank. And please message me for any details. The other part that you need to post is you really need a picture. If you are working with other people's children, hands down, it'll make them feel better and you'll be a little bit more of a welcoming figure if you post a picture. So that has got me a lot of clients. That's got me my clients really early on, and 9 times out of 10, it is cheap to free. Now, there is some online tutoring Facebook websites where you have to pay to post. I personally haven't done those. I haven't needed to. So that's totally your call there. Number 2 is create a website. And full disclaimer, I am not a tech person. My husband is, but I actually created my own website and then he looked at it and made it look better. So there's a lot of free website creators out there. My personal favorite is Wix. It made it really easy to create a website, but there's also Weebly. And then I've been trying to check into Squarespace, which is not free, but I believe it's only about $14 a month. With these websites, it seems like excessive at first, but it doesn't have to be fancy. Your website literally just needs to be a picture of you, what you're about, your background information, your experience, what you specialize in, maybe even some links to some awesome resources. Let's say you are a wonderful reading tutor. You can even include some links to hey, these are my favorite free resources online. That's a really good way to show people that you know your stuff. Then I would go back and forth on if you could put some rates, if you're pretty solid in them, or you can leave off your rates on your website. That's totally your call. But on your website, you just really want to create a presence and it shows people that you're serious and that this is not a wishy-washy circumstance. Number 3, it got a lot of traffic for me, but it wasn't my favorite, just because I am not a natural creative. But if you are, you might love this. So what you can do is you can make flyers, and I have had success with this. Like I said, doesn't come naturally to me, but you can make flyers and you can hand to your local schools, local private schools, what have you. So depending on where you are in your state, for us in the state of Florida, in our counties, you have to get district permission, which is really easy. You send them your flyer and then email the principal with district permission to potentially drop off those flyers. I have learned that those have a lot of luck with the elementary school students, but if you drop off flyers at a high school or middle school, likely they're going to be paper airplanes. I've also had luck you can get flyers or even business cards to librarians, coffee shops, bookstores, just kind of whoever you come into contact with, or I've even had a family that I've worked with before. They own a chiropractic office and they put my flyers up, which is great because they service kids. It works out well. So it's pretty much anybody who is willing to help you out. And hands down, I'm going to say this over and over again, please post a picture on those flyers. I will tell you, it makes a huge difference. You can get fancy, you can put a QR code to your website, but you just kind of want it to look pretty and simple and not too spammy. My fourth is offer a free library class. So this was something I did really early on. So what I did is, I'm in a small town, and this can work in even bigger towns too, is I got to meet and pitch with the local librarian manager. And what I did is I told him I've been tutoring some clients there, but not too many. And I said, I'm interested in teaching a free class. I showed them my website. And then I told them what I would like the class to be about. For example, my class I did was for teens, and it was teaching ACT prep. We did like a little practice test, and the librarians were absolutely wonderful. So this was completely free. I had to pay a few things because I brought some calculators and I paid for printing costs, but the librarians marketed for me. They took photos. They did a great job, and that brought me a lot of traffic. And what was great about that class is I got to meet a lot of parents in a low stress environment because they're sending their kid to a free class. I got to answer questions. I had flyers to hand out. And that was actually one of my favorite tactics. We are working on launching another portion of our business locally. And that's something I will look at again to kind of get feelers out there and share the information. And then number 5 is something that people debate on a good bit. I highly recommend joining Wyzant. There is a lot of tutoring platforms out there, and it's not highly successful in my area, but in bigger cities it is. So if you don't know what Wyzant is, I've had an account on it forever. I have to check if it's even still active. But what I really like about it is it's a great way, and it's a really low stress platform where you could create your bio, show where you're located, and be able to offer and apply for tutoring clients. So in big cities, this works out really great. And I got a lot of traction there when I lived in a bigger city. Is I had my Wyzant bio, and then I would be applying for students that came in on my feed. Hands down, have a picture in your bio, put your expertise. But my favorite thing about Wyzant is, and that you don't get from like Facebook and stuff, is Wyzant, after every single session, it messages the parent and asks for a rating, which is a game changer. So in those early days, I have like 50 or so hours on Wyzant. Even if that parent potentially moved off Wyzant, or I don't have that parent anymore, I have that history to show other families like, hey, this is my 5-star rating. This is, I have proven success record, and this is where I'm at. I will say Wyzant takes a painful cut, which is why I don't use it too much, but I have got some of my favorite, especially online students there, but they do have a pretty good presence in your local community. Now, I will say on Wyzant, there is a lot of competition. So hands down, if you create a bio and you see like all these options for different jobs or different families looking for tutors, literally apply for everything. You're going to have to apply for like over 50 to get a bite. So you do have to be proactive on it, but it is a free way. You can make some money, and it starts building up your reputation, which is one of my favorite things, because when you are trying to grow, you really need to prove that you know your stuff. And people's word of mouth and just their reviews of you is one of the best marketing tools that you can do. So to recap, we talked about some free options to post. We talked about making flyers. We talked about making a website. And we also talked about Wyzant, which is a great way to get students as well. Anyway, I look forward to meeting with you more, and we'll be creating and providing more resources to help you launch your business.